Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the channel, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video if you enjoy the content that we have coming out. And today we're going to be diving into Dark Knight's Death Metal, Rise of the New God. Now, if you guys have not been checking out the Death Metal series, I will leave a link in the description and at the top of this video so you can check out everything Death Metal related. I've covered every single video. It's all in order, so you guys gotta click on the playlist and check it out. Now, we last left off with the Batman who laughs essentially becoming a god. He takes the rest of the crisis energy from Wally West, and he's become something of unimaginable power. And now the only thing he has left is to take on Perpetua. And with that, let's dive into this issue. So with this issue, we have the beginning of the battle. Perpetua, mother of the multiverse, versus the Batman who laughs, the new god. And these two have a battle of epic proportions. A battle that rages across every facet of reality, drawing the attention of some very powerful individuals to bear witness. And from the Overvoid comes the Chronicler, a being of omniversal relevance. This is somebody that is like directly below the source. You know, Earth sits in a greater universe, which itself sits in an even greater multiverse. And this dying multiverse sits in an even greater omniverse. And he observes these two literally hurling planets at one another. And he sees, two Omega-class cosmic entities having a duel with the possibility of collapsing the entire system. And so he has to get to work quickly. And so he teleports to the hellscape. And upon arriving, he runs into Psycho Pirates. Now, this guy's job is to really just record every bit of information that he can get. He's a functionary of the source of all things. And so this job is pretty much given to him by the source, by God, of the omniverse, of everything. And because of Psycho Pirate's unique abilities, he came to him to be able to get whatever information he has in him to be able to put in the Codex Omniversa, which is a pretty much a book of all the recorded history of every collected Earth or multiverse that has collapsed or ever was. And so he looks at all this information and he realizes just how truly remarkable this multiverse is. Like, out of all the multiverses he's seen, that like this one is truly very rarely so colorful, and he wants to learn more about this. And this is when he teleports out, and he teleports to the son of Brainiac. Who better to get information from? And Brainiac really, he tries to plea a bargain here. Brainiac's been sending out signals into the greater omniverse for a few months now, trying to escape this multiverse before its demise. But the Chronicler lets him know, like, I'm not here to make a bargain with you. I'm here to take whatever information you have. And that's exactly what he does. And as he gets more and more information, he's not able to understand, how it could be allowed to get so corrupted to the point of destruction. A place of heroes and villains, of cosmic fairy tale that should go on forever. And he shows the son of Brainiac, he shows him what it's really like out there. Like, because he really does want to leave. And he's like, listen, look at the Codex. Look at the multiverses, the trillions of dead multiverses that I have visited, and see how fortunate this multiverse is. And then he vanishes. And as he walks on the surface of the moon and watches Perpetua and the Batman who laughs duel it out, throwing suns and planets at one another, he makes a decision. And we see him resurrect Metron. And he does his introduction, and he's pretty much like, listen, I need information from you. And he lets him know, like, I've seen so much, but never something like this. Most of the stories I've written in my book are mundane. They're ordinary to speak of. But this multiverse, these stories are different. And now it's in jeopardy of being ripped apart by nightmares rather than reaching a natural conclusion. And so he wants to understand why, how all of this happened. And Metron asks him, like, you want to save this place, don't you? You want to fix the multiverse and make it right in defiance of your primary function. And he's like, all right, I'll try to break it down for you, but it's difficult to explain. And he lets him know, like, that this multiverse creates incredible evil so that it can be overcome. So there are always something good enough to counter that ultimate evil, to keep a balance. One day the balance will fail, and perhaps that day has come upon us. But he takes comfort in knowing that the Omniverse has taken notice, that the source is maintaining a record, that the recorder has become a believer in them, because that means that the multiverse will never truly die. It will always live on in stories, in an imagination, in a cosmic scale. And at the end of the day, that's really what matters, is these stories will live on to inspire, to give hope, to make people believe. And so to get the rest of the story, he does what he did to everybody else to get the information. And he sees the grand story from the very beginning, from creation, from start to finish, in all its cosmic majesty. And he believes. He believes into these characters. He believes in them. He believes they become eternal. Now, picking up with our lanterns on the bleed. These guys have been hightailing it, trying to stay in existence. And it has all of our lanterns on board, every single one of them, and they're not able to outrun this forever, and so they need to get to Earth Zero. That's been the whole thing that the Green Lanterns have been trying to do, is get to Earth Zero, save the people that are left in the multiverse. And so John Stewart gets the idea that they all need to use their rings and focus and pilot them to Earth Zero. But upon arriving there, they're too late. And the Batman who laughs is already turned into a god. And this is where, like, John Stewart's like, listen, he turns to everybody that's on board. He's like, we promised to return you home safe, and we failed to deliver on that. You know, our home has changed, and I can't and I won't promise that I'm going to save you guys. But what I will promise is I'm going to give you guys the power to save yourselves. Our power. The power of the Green Lanterns. And this is where he holds out a lantern ring and says, what are you going to do? And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Personally, I really did enjoy this comic, you know, because this comic comes down to believing. It comes down to hope. It comes down to exactly what these comics were written for to begin with. You know, and as Metron said, you know, these comics, you know, this story, they live on. They give people hope. They inspire creativity, love, compassion, empathy. They're vital stories showing how humanity can be better, showing how a multiverse can be better. You know, I'm really excited to see what the Chronicler offers here, how he's going to be able to shift the dynamic and be able to save them. I'm wondering if the source is going to intervene in any way, shape, or form, because that would be absolutely amazing. You know, we rarely get to see the source, and I would love for the source to pop up into this. Especially if it's something that he believes is worth saving. You know, if this multiverse is worth saving. You know, they could rebuild the source wall and all that just with a wave of a hand. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are you guys enjoying this comic? Have you been enjoying death metal as a whole? Where do you guys think it's going to go? Do you think the source is going to show up? How do you think that our gang is going to get out of all of this? Let me know down in the comments. If you have not yet, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and like this video. And until the next video,